Hey everybody, welcome back. Just got home a little while ago from the road. This time wasn't too bad. 10 days. That's about the shortest my stints ever are. I've got all this wood. We had a big windstorm, so all this crap came down and got to burn a bunch of it. And I wanted to have a fire anyway, so I thought I'd come out here and do a fire and talk to y'all. This is not working quite right. I wanted to get the fire in there, but it's kind of hard because I don't want to fry myself. So I'm going to move a little bit here. And there we go. How y'all doing? Welcome back. Tack på sist. Välkommen tillbaka. Oh, there's not much better than sitting by a fire and just kind of contemplating life. So I was driving home. I listened to a whole bunch of YouTube videos today while I was driving, and I've got the premium, which if you don't have it, you should get it because it's freaking awesome. So I can close the app while I'm driving and still listen to it. Before I had that, you're probably aware that if you close the app, the video shuts off. But I listened to some kind of self-help stuff, some guru stuff, and just different things like that. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. But I watched this one video with Ken Coleman, if you know who he is, and he had Dwayne. Dang, I always forget his last name. I keep thinking I'm going to remember. The Dry Creek Wrangler dude, and a bunch of guys sitting around a fire in the middle of the day. It's actually kind of dusk here. You really can't tell. I don't know why on video it looks like it's daylight, but yeah, it was pretty cool. And they were talking kind of about men, and I did a video a few ago where I talked a little bit about that, but I want to approach this a little differently. It's not about, I mean, it kind of is. What's a man? What's a woman? And I'm not talking about modern gender stuff. I don't give a crap about that stuff. I know what a man is. I know what a woman is. But I'm talking about, what are our roles? Not just traditionally, but in the modern world too. But what I started thinking about is being a man when I was, say, 25 and just married, and comparing that to now. And when I think about that kind of stuff, it makes me give more grace to younger people, because, and I'm not saying all young people make tons of mistakes, but lots of young people do. I did. I still do. It's just part of life and growing, I think. And specifically, my brother used to work for me for quite a few years. All my brothers are younger than me. I'm the oldest. And I remember thinking a lot of times, so I'm 62, he'll be 53 this summer. So when he was working for me, it's been 17 years now. So what is that, 36 when he stopped? So he was working for me from like his late 20s to his mid 30s, basically. And I used to think he was so immature. I still kind of think he was in a lot of ways. I love him. He's a great dude, hard worker, badass. But we used to clash a lot about stuff like that. And 17 years ago, I was 45, and I looked at things differently than I do now. I just gotta show you a little bit of the fire. It's mesmerizing. I freaking love fires. That's not as far as it's gonna go, I guess. Even when it's just in your backyard and you're just kind of hanging out, there's just something about fire. I don't know, maybe it goes back to our caveman roots, or I have no idea. But what I was thinking about is, okay, when I was in fairness, I do believe I was quite a bit more mature, because at 36 I had, several kids, and I'd been a dad for years, and I'd run my own business for many years at that point. But I also had to kind of decide, and it wasn't really till after he went back home and stopped working for me. And it wasn't any fallout. It wasn't anything like that. My ex-wife and I sold a company where I got some money, and I took like a year and a half off, and there just wasn't anything for him. So, but it was after he had left that I started thinking, maybe I was a little bit hard on him sometimes. Because I think we all mature at different rates. And some people never mature. Let's be honest. I think we all know people that are like, okay, they're 55, but they act like they're 18, that kind of thing. But how you doing, Freya? Come here. Freya. My little dog, I call her my puppy. She's 3.5, but I don't know if you can see the black one right here. That's Espeland. Freya, come here. Come here, puppy. Come here, Espe. They're such good dogs. This is the mama, and that's the puppy, Freya. Ah, Freya. You go, puppy. Yes, you are. You go, puppies. Oh, you hear the hummingbird just now? That was freaking awesome. So, yeah, you're not going to like that. I'm wondering if I'm in its territory because it's buzzing me. I think you probably heard that. Camera usually picks that stuff up. So my point is, I've tried to get, these freaking notifications drive me crazy. I know, turn off your notifications. You're right. I've tried to be less judgmental, and I have gotten a lot less judgmental as I get older, because I realize, there were things I probably did when I was in my 20s and even 30s and definitely in my teens that were just stupid. And anyway, these guys were all sitting around the fire. Ken Coleman, Dwayne Knoll, I think that's right, Dwayne Knoll, and some other guys I didn't know, but it was kind of a Q&A thing. And it was pretty cool. I mean, it was mostly Dry Creek Wrangler dude talking. Just imparting his wisdom, he's a little bit younger than me, but not a lot. And so, we're kind of in the same age group, and I can connect with a lot of what he says. He's much more religious than I am. At least that's how he comes across. But not in a bad way. I've said it many times, I don't judge people for being religious. As long as you don't hurt anybody, hey, worship the way that works for you. But they were talking about men and the role of men, and coming from kind of a Christian point of view, not like I'm the man, you're the woman. Ooh, nothing like that. Nothing like that. I've said many times on these videos that my wife is her own woman. She does what she wants to do, and I try to always support her. And when we were raising our kids, she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, which made me very happy. Luckily, we could do it. A lot of people can't pull it off on one income anymore. I get how things are so expensive, and it's tough doing stuff on just a single income anymore. But it got me really thinking about just our society. I watched another YouTube video from this Norwegian dude, Björn Bull something. He's in Norway. He talks a lot about Viking stuff. He's into Viking heritage and history, and I watched several of his videos. I just discovered him today. He's got like 780,000 subscribers. But I just found him. And I mean, I love hearing that Norwegian accent anyway. I kind of wish I'd have been a little older when we moved, so maybe I could have had that cool Norwegian accent, and talk like this when I'm doing my videos, because it just sounds cool. But I don't. My parents do. They still have strong Norwegian accents. So it always takes me back when I hear somebody talking like that. But he was, people think of the Vikings as this pillaging, marauder type people. And they were, in fairness, they did some not good stuff. But there was also some really cool stuff in the structure of their society. And one of the things that he talked about quite a bit was the Viking Code. And he mentioned 3 words, Norwegian words, and I'm not going to remember them all. One of them was et. Et is the number 1, but that's not how it was meant when he was saying it. It's about community and family and, talking about how there's this epidemic of loneliness, is how he put it. And I've heard that term many times in the last few years. I see a lot of, especially younger people, that just, seem by themselves, even if they're with somebody. It makes me sad because I can't imagine my life without my family and my friends. Family first, I say it all the time to all my buddies that are watching this. I love y'all. Family first, and I think you would all agree. In fact, I'm going to try in the next couple of weeks. We got this big, huge gathering coming up in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to see if I can get several of my buddies together around a fire and kind of have a discussion. I think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be a good video. I'm also going to try and get my oldest son on with me in the next couple days if he's willing. And he has been before. To talk about, growing up in Utah as a non-LDS person, which I did a video on a couple weeks ago. And he's a happy guy. He's got a happy life, but I know there were lots of struggles that we had to deal with. So I want to talk to him about that too. But anyway, back to the epidemic of loneliness. It hurts my heart when I see people, whether they're young or old, that are just by themselves or don't seem to want to have any interaction. She crashed in the, that's all ground cover there. Apparently it's very soft. She found herself a nice little bed. And I feel like I know what the cure is. I just don't know how you implement it as a society, because we've gotten so isolated by stuff. Now this is awesome. I love being able to talk to all of y'all and do these videos and reading your comments. I feel blessed to be able to, if 5 of you watch it, I feel blessed. And sometimes there's hundreds, sometimes there's thousands, and it's awesome. So there's lots of good that is done with social media. But at the same time, the flip of that is I think a lot of people are isolated. They feel like they have friends that aren't real friends. There's this podcast I listen to where one of the guys talks about it's like eating a candy bar. You feel kind of full, but you're not getting any nutrition. And that's how, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, if that's your whole network of friends, but you never actually get together, you never get to talk. And this is, granted, coming from an older dude, I get it, and feel free to tell me I'm wrong or my perspective's off. It's all good. I say it all the time. I don't mind having my ideas challenged. It does not bother me. It does not threaten me. I'm secure in my beliefs, and every once in a while I get my mind changed. But I don't, I've, like, for instance, on my Facebook page, I've kind of stopped adding friends unless it's somebody I actually know from my past. Like, I'll get requests from somebody. I'm like, we weren't friends in high school. Why? I talked to you like 3 times in 6 years. Why are we gonna be friends now? And maybe that's a weird way to look at it, but but on my Facebook, I don't know what it says, like 467 friends. I have no idea. It's somewhere like that, 380, 520, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm like, if I went through all 500 of these people, there's probably like 40 or 50 of them where I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a friend. I don't know if you all feel the same way about that. It's cool. It is cool. When I first got on social media, it was to be able to keep up with people that I didn't get to see every day, people I grew up with, friends from the past that I still consider friends, that, you know, I'd lost touch with a little bit. Like, there's a couple of guys I've reconnected with after years and years and years through Facebook. It's awesome. I love it. But I've actually stopped, you know, doom scrolling. I don't do that much on any platform anymore, other than kind of YouTube. I find a lot of cool stuff on YouTube, and it's not just mind-numbing. I mean, I love music. I watch music videos quite often. Love it. But I love finding stuff that stimulates my brain and gets me thinking and makes me think and maybe challenges my ideas. There's too much in our society these days where people do not want to be challenged on their ideas. It happens all the time on college campuses. Somebody will want to cancel somebody because they have a different view from them, and they cannot stand the thought of anybody challenging their ideas, which is what college is all about. At least it used to be. I find that really sad and depressing. It's like, if we can't challenge each other in a nice, respectful way. I'm not talking about, for instance, there's this one guy I listen to. It's two guys, this podcast I listen to. They live in the Sacramento area, and the one drives a big Cybertruck, Tesla Cybertruck. Now, a year and a half, 2 years ago, that was the talk of the town, you know, hey, you drive a Tesla, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, where I just finished working, which was in east of Oakland, about a half hour, every other car is a Tesla, practically. I mean, I could sit on a corner and go, Tesla, 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 Tesla. I don't care what somebody drives. It doesn't bother me in the least. But this guy lives in Davis, California, which is a university town. And every day he gets flipped off. And not just flipped off, but like, people are vehement, spitting on the truck. And it's like, you hear the hummingbird? I don't understand that. I don't care what your political views are. That's crazy. How things can flip like that. It's one of the main reasons I stay out of that stuff. For the most part, I do skirt up against it once in a while, and y'all call me out on it. It's cool. I don't understand it, you know. Some rich 21-year-old, like the other day, some rich 21-year-old, and you might know what podcast I'm talking about. 21-year-old like girl in a BMW convertible. Is it ready? Okay, I'll be in just a second. Steaks are ready. Pulled up in front of him and just started spitting and screaming and swearing, and that boggles my mind. I chalk it up to youth and inexperience. It wasn't like that when I was in college. People didn't get upset over every little thing constantly, and just, what side are you on? What do you believe? Blah, blah, blah. I know this video is straying a bit. I tend to do that. And if you're still watching, I guess you think it's okay. But yeah, I guess what I'm learning the older I get is to try to be less and less judgmental, and to remember I was young once too. And I certainly don't know it all. I've never claimed to. I'm learning all the time. I learn new things constantly. So, as always, I love reading your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm going to follow up on this. Like I said, the steaks are ready, so I'm going to go eat a big T-bone and hang out with my wife for the rest of the night. I hope you all have a beautiful night. We're going to come out and sit by the fire here in a little bit as it gets darker. Like I said, you can't tell, but the sun is down now. It's just a beautiful night. I love sitting back here, and thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I always forget to do this at the beginning, but if you like the videos, please thumbs up, subscribe. Comments are what I really dig. And it's just fun watching it be whatever it is, whatever it's gonna be. Out of my control. I try to do videos that are hopefully interesting. Have a great Saturday night. Saturday, Saturday night. Bay City Rollers, baby. What, mid-70s. Have a great night. Peace. Love.